later, and I'm back. It's cold outside, the wind's freezing, and sun's shining for a change. We had a few days of rain, so I'm so thankful after last week. And speaking about how we needed the rain, it is so awesome to actually have had rain for 2 days, almost 2 days. We still need lots, but you don't need all of it in one day. So for that reason, I'm wearing a hat, but it's a bit irritating. You know, sometimes I like my hats. I love my hats, but sometimes they're a bit in the way. But anyway, it's not a problem. So last week I showed you the socks. I was knitting the socks. This week they are finished. I still have to block them. Sometimes I'm a bit lazy with blocking, but I did weave away the ends. So I'm quite happy with them. Look at that. We have a sock full of Sinatra hair. Oh, those two at the back are busy with nonsense again. Pinky, Bubbles? Oh, Pinky left. So I'm very chuffed with these. They're done. And then I showed you the hand-spun alpaca wool that I wanted to knit with. I did. So I made my friend's husband a beanie. And I made a little pom-pom. I think it's very cute. And I used a pattern out of my head. I can follow patterns, and I sometimes do it, but sometimes I feel like, you know, if you know how to do something, why follow a pattern? So anyway, I just knitted it with cables. And then what I like is at the top, I don't know if you can see it, I actually let all the cables meet, and then it formed this nice little circle. So I kind of like that. Yeah, I think it might be a bit big, but oh well. You must just wear it like that. Usually men's heads are a bit bigger than women's heads. So I think it would work. And it's nice and warm and it's soft. And I see now the pom-pom is cute. But anyway. So that's that. And then, what else did I finish? Ooh, now, I need t-shirts. And you know, I can't see why I must buy a t-shirt if I can actually make it. And I have all the material to make it. So I sat down, that's this little clip in the beginning, and I made myself this little t-shirt. I've actually made another one in aqua blue, which I really like, but I made it with a polo neck to keep my neck warm, and I didn't like the fit so nicely. So I decided not to put the polo neck on this, but I still want a high neck, so I did it like that. And then I just finish it with my cover stitch. So there's my cover stitch. But the problem is, I love the finishing effect. My cover stitch is extremely temperamental. It skips stitches sometimes. There you can see. And then it unpicks. So I still have to go and just catch it everywhere. But what I do is when I do sewing for my shop or for people, then I just unpick the whole thing. But it's a lot of cotton that sometimes goes to waste. You will see that I use a Nina Cover Pro 1000 CP. Now, I didn't have a lot of options to choose from. There was the brother. No, yeah. Was it the brother? Yeah, there's a brother. I think the brother's got a cover stitch machine. But I didn't want to go for that because there's nobody in my area that services it. I'll have to drive about 300 kilometers, maybe a bit more, to get to the closest place to service it. So I decided not to buy that one. Then I didn't know that we had... No, it was the brother. Okay, so I didn't know at the time when I bought this one that we had a brother... dealership in this area, and so I just went around and I couldn't find any other cover stitch machines unless I imported them from somewhere else, and so I found the Banina Nina one. I didn't do my research properly. I'm very sad about that. I should have actually gone to the dealership and sat down and test drive the machine. This machine is extremely temperamental. You have to change the needles a lot, which I don't mind so much because, you know, if you work with specialized machines, you have to change your needles. It's finicky with cotton. If you use, now cotton, we don't have a lot of options here. We've got coats, which is not that great anymore. It used to be brilliant, but they've changed the factory that makes it. And then you've got like the cheaper versions, which is okay for like overlocker and sewing machine. If your overlocker and sewing machine is not bottom of the range. But on bottom of the range, they sometimes keep on breaking. So that's quite a problem. And then we've got Cerulon, which I don't know where they make them now, but they use... I'm just trying to see if I can find a spool that's close enough. So, I'm not going to do that now. So anyway, we've got Cerulon as well, and that was a company in Cape Town that actually used to make them. But with all the strike actions and mass actions, about 9 years ago, the company just decided with all the labor issues, it's just not worth staying open. So they closed their doors. But if I remember right, somebody else took it over and they restarted it. So we can use Cerulon at the moment, which is a good cotton, but it's extremely expensive. And for the cover stitch, you need three or four rows of cotton. I must still cut this up. So anyway, what's the problem? The problem with this is my usually on your sewing machines, your overlockers and your cover stitch machines, you have like set areas. Sorry, my phone is my camera is standing on my cover stitch machine, so I'm actually just looking. So you have like set numbers, which is a good number if you want to work on your machines. So for thicker material you do X, and for thinner material you put it on another setting. But with this one, I have to play mostly every time I start working. Now it's kind of in a rhythm. It still skips stitches, but it's kind of in a rhythm after 2 years. But I spend more time rethreading my cover stitch machine than I've ever done with my overlocker, and the overlocker is 100 times more difficult to rethread because it just doesn't always work the way you want it, and it's so finicky with materials. It will work fine with thick materials and certain cotton lycras, but with certain ones, if it's too thin, it just doesn't do it. It just screeches it all up and you have to unpick. And unpicking this type of stitching, let me just show you, it's not so easy. Oh, there you can see it's skipped as well. But I'm very happy with the end result. Our summer is on its way, but I think we're going to have a late winter because it only started like about 3 weeks ago. We really started getting cold weather. Ah, Bubbles, you're going to sit there on that chair. My jersey is there. You will have to lie on top of it. So there we go. I've got a t-shirt that's finished. Okay, and then I did some more. So a while ago, I think I told you guys, maybe I didn't, I told my friend Bethany, Bethany from Freely Born, that I was trying to finish a few things. So this was a little tunic top, and I finished it, and then it didn't fit so well. So then I decided that the collar it's a 1970s pattern. Oh, I forgot to bring the pattern. Let me just pause here. So anyway, here you go. Yes, it is. Okay, so it's a 1970s pattern. My mom made this dress for herself when she was pregnant with me and my sisters. And I decided, I can't remember what that hashtag was. There was a hashtag about dressing like your mom dressed. And so I decided to remake this pattern. Now, I'm not pregnant, and I don't plan to be pregnant. So anyway, it's got quite a high collar. So I made the collar, and then I made the top part, and I made the pleats come down lower, and I made that one tunic top with the pockets. So I used some art materials that I still had lying around. This was a lining of a skirt I took out from somebody I'd like with alteration. And then I had this small piece of this flower material, which I just loved. And I had this lace, that one, the green one. Oh, it's so beautiful. And then that one, which I'm still planning on putting some darker pink ribbon in, so you can put it in or out. And then I had some serviettes, embroidered serviettes that a friend of mine gave me. They were brand new. It's never been opened, and it was yellow and old, and it still had like a little gold seal around it, everything. So I made it as it was on this. And when I wore this, that collar drove me insane. So I've realized I don't really like a high collar. I don't particularly like collars. I don't know why I thought I would like that, because I've never been somebody for collars. As soon as a shirt has a collar, I actually take it out. I take it out and I turn it into a mandarin collar. So anyway, I made it, and it was so stiff and so hard, and I wore it once and it was horrible, and it was extremely wide because it's for somebody who's pregnant. So I had to unpick it on the side. Because I'm sometimes a bit lazy. I haven't even ironed it yet, and I just, as you can see, some parts are overlocked, but some parts are just zigzagged because I unpicked it, and I just took the front and I pulled it back to more back. I think I took about that much on both sides in the front, so it doesn't stand out for a dummy. And then I wore it another, and I made the collar so it doesn't stand up. I made it to be a bit lower, but it was still pulling here, and it was still like quite stiff because I put in stiffening and everything as you're supposed to do with collars, but I just didn't like it. So then I unpicked it again, unpicked the collar. I didn't unpick the rest. Oh, and also it was quite a bit wide, so I made these pleats going in a bit deeper. Oh, I love these pleats. I just made them go in a bit deeper. And then I unpicked the collar, and I just used the normal material. I took away the backing, and then I just put bias binding in the back, as you can see there, because I had facings, and it just, with all the stiffening that you put inside of all of this, it just didn't work. But now I have a sweet little top. Look at me. I've worn it once already, and I can see myself wearing this a lot, especially now when the weather gets a bit warmer. So I'm excited about that. So then I also have a wedding that I'm working for to make stuff for. So I made this little flower girl dress. It's just chiffon over t-shirting, and I still need to put, so I made the t-shirting double. I like to do these bodice doubles, so then the kids don't need to worry about what's underneath. And I'm going to put a ribbon in, and then this one is done. And here is the mother of the bride. It's her little jacket. Now I'm waiting for her to come into fit, because I want to roll him with the overlocker this part, but I want to make sure everything is fine. And oh yes, I have to make a pair of pants as well. Now these still need ironing, and I'm not too fond of them because the material that they brought me is not that great, but that's okay. So that's been me sewing and knitting wise this weekend. This week. It's been a very busy week. Like I told you guys last week, I'm going away to my friend's wedding, so there's a lot of things to sort out, but I'm quite excited. And then I had my friend, I've got a friend who's from Norway. The one I told you about last time was coming to visit. So she came to visit me, and she brought me some wool. I am so excited. So she got me Ruma from Norway. Now there's this podcast called Scandinavian Knits, and the girl's name is Ali, and she swears by this make. She says it's a very good make. I'm a bit this one is 50% superfine alpaca and 50% wool. It is nice and soft. I wish I had more, because I would have liked to do a shawl, but I don't think there's enough, because there's only 130 meters per, how many grams are this? Wow, it's only 50 grams. So I've got 2 of these, so I'm thinking of doing like a little snoot of this. Or maybe a hat. I'll still decide, but it's so beautiful, and I love this color. It's so beautiful. The alpaca makes it a bit fluffy, but I don't mind that too much. But look at that little sign there. I just love that little sign up there in the corner. There. I wonder. Yes, right there. So I've got 2 of this. And then I have been, since I watched this girl, Ali, of Scandinavian Knits, she's what do you call that? A color work knitter. So she loves like all the Norwegian patterns and designs, and with the 7-star and that type of thing. And so she's really inspired me to actually do color work. I've done color work before. I've showed you a jersey last time that I did, and done some other stuff. I've actually done a Swedish jersey while I was living in Germany, with from the bottom up, and then it had the yoke, which I love doing. So my friend got me this as well, which is Ruma over fabric. Maybe I shouldn't try and even read it, because I might just break it down to something that it's not. But look there, Ruma, and then finger on. It's a thin one, very thin. So this will be for like shawls and stuff. But it is 100%. Yeah, it's 100% fine wool, and I just think it is so beautiful. I think it is these 2 colors. So I don't know if it's enough. I'm going to actually look on her website to see how much you need for color work mittens, because she's got this pattern, but I think this wool is just too fine. I think you're supposed to do it with this one, which is a bit thicker. This is called oh, this one is thicker than that one. Not that much. Yeah. Anyway, I need to go and see if I can knit with this, and then I'm going to do a set of color work mittens. The only thing is, you know, with the South African rand and the exchange rate, it's extremely expensive to buy patterns. So I will have to just go and see what free patterns I can find on Ravelry or one of those places. So I've recently discovered Ravelry. I didn't know there was people out there who knits like I do. I live here in the south point of Africa, and oh yeah, I've got my coffee in my pretty mug that a friend of mine gave me for my, just because she arrived here and she had this little box, and because these little Maxwell Williams cups, Maxwell Williams, I love Maxwell Williams. So anyway, what's that? Oops, I think it's the cat who was on my hat. So Pinky, is that another one? Yes. No, it's not. So Pinky climbs on my shoulder, as I showed you before. Pinky is the black and white cat. And then she hangs around on my shoulder for 15-20 minutes, as long as she feels like it. And then sometimes she decides she wants to get into my head, because that's what cats do. They get into your head, apparently. So anyway, yeah, then she hooks my hat. That's what, oh, I'm off on a tangent. Sorry. Let me have a sip of my coffee. So, I love my mug. Black coffee, nothing else. This is, what did I buy last? I always try to get another make, because, you know, it gets boring if you just buy the same thing. Jacobskroning. I love Jacobskroning. Oh, it's nice. But I see that dummy behind me. Abigail is actually looking at me. I'm going to move her, because she looks funny there, and it looks like I have this thing growing out of my shoulder. So just wait a minute. Abigail, you need to move this way, my darling. There we go. Oh, and I wanted to show you these dresses. So, tonight, I need to make another one of these. Now, it looks very simple. It actually, when I saw it first time, I thought, oh, no, that's easy, I can do that. And I can do it. But you know what? It is so much work. There's like 27 pieces in that thing. 27 little pattern pieces, and each pattern piece, so you have your lining, and then that goes one way grain wise, and then you have your mesh, and that mesh is, oh, it's beautiful, but it's such a mission to work with, and the mesh must go the grain way and line another way, and the mesh is like 3 times the size of the bottom part, and then you gather it and you pull it, and then it makes that beautiful full design, but your submission. So anyway, why was I telling you this, dummy? I'll have to stop and rewind and see what I was talking about. Ish. I'm back. Okay, I was talking about Ravelry. I never knew there were people, that so many people are knitting out there. I never knew there were like support groups for people who's knitting. It is awesome. Now I must just find some people who's actually sewing. Isn't there something like Ravelry for sewing? So, I started looking around for other podcasts. Now, I'm strange in that sense. I find a podcast that I like, and then I watch it, and then I keep on watching it, because it feels like the person on the podcast almost becomes like your friend sometimes. And they're not very sticky, you know. I tried a few other podcasts, and some people are nice, and some of their stuff are nice, but I just haven't found another one I connect with. Except, of course, my friend Bethany from Freely Born, but we've been friends before I found her podcast. So anyway, before I continue with Ravelry, I just forgot. Somebody brought me some buttons. I love buttons. I think buttons are the most amazing thing ever. But these buttons are made out of ceramics. Look at that. So I've got 2 of those, which I'm thinking, when you knit like a bluish shawl or something, you can just put like a button on this both sides like that, or something like that. Then I've got 2 of those, which are also so cute. And I've got 3 of the stars. There's another one. Yay! And I've got 2 of these, which I think is just beautiful. And I love how they glaze. I'm just not sure how they're going to wash. I'll have to just make sure how they're going to wash. Maybe put them on and take them off or something. And then there's this one. I think this one is just so beautiful. Yeah, so anyway, that's my buttons. So back to the whole thing with Ravelry and sewing and all the people on there and podcast. Oh, this one actually have beads in the circles. I must take them out. Looks like it just got stuck in there. So there's all these. Oh no, what is this? Oh, sorry. I sneeze a lot. So there's all these podcasts out there, and I'm quite intrigued. I knew there were podcasts, and I've listened to some, but I never knew there were so many. And it's like every time I go on, there's another one, and then I think, okay, so I'm a new one. Maybe I'm just getting on the bandwagon, and maybe I am. I don't know, but I'm having fun, so that's all that matters. And then I had such a sweet message. I think the girl's name was Sandra. I can't. I'm sorry. I was going to write your name down and actually remember it. And she said to me, it's so nice to listen to you and to see your podcast, because it feels, it's different from what the friends I have. And it was such a lovely comment. And there was a comment from another friend called Jackie. She's got a little business called Jackie, Irish Gypsy. And she crochets the most beautiful things to wear. At the moment, she's busy with these, I think it's like jackets almost, like a little vests. She's busy with these vests. She's crocheting. So they're very cute. And she left me a comment. And of course, my Bethany left me a comment. So it was so lovely to have all the comments from all of you. And I really appreciate it. So yeah, so my mission is, not now because I'm leaving, I'm going overseas, yay, I'm going to visit my friends. My mission is to actually find a few more podcasts, because I've realized my world is very small. Because I don't live in a city, I live in a very small town, and I work a lot, so I have friends, quite a lot. I'm very thankful for all my friends. But I do get isolated. You know, I've got my 5 animals, my 3 cats and my 2 dogs, and I love them to bits. But I could easily become a hermit. And what I've realized is I need to broaden my horizons. Because I know about sewing, and I have enough material here. One day I'll give you a tour of my stash. But it was not, I must say, I don't just buy materials because I feel like it. But I was given a lot of materials through the years, and I could actually open a shop. I was looking at all the materials recently, and I thought maybe I should open a shop. And then at the moment the shop's standing, I have a shop. Oh, but I make stuff for the shop. Okay, it's different. But anyway, so the shop where I do my clothes for, at the moment, I'm actually emptying it out. So a lot of my friends have been getting gifts and stuff from the shop, of course, because I feel like when I get back, I need to start over. Since they're building this road outside my house, and it's been chaos. I mean, one day I came home and I couldn't get home because there was these heaps of soil everywhere. I literally had to walk down the road. It's about maybe 600 meters. Go to find a bulldozer. Then the guy was like, oh no, he doesn't know if he can do it. So I went to find his supervisor, which was another 5 minutes. And now I have an order that I have to finish, because I finish work in the afternoons, and then I get home about 3 o'clock, and then I sit down and I start sewing. So I had to find his supervisor to actually convince him to make the soil flat, because my car is small. I mean, it's got like a 1000cc engine. It's not going to be able to 4x4 over these heaps of soil. So finally found the guy. Then they bulldozed it flat. Then they had to roll it flat because my car got stuck in the sand, like the little wheels were turning like this. And it took me almost 45 minutes to get home one afternoon. So it's been really a mission, and a lot of times my shop was just not accessible. So in March this year, end of March, I just gave up. Not gave up, but I decided I'm going to close the shop until the road's done. And I'll just have to trust God for provision, because there's nothing I can do. You know, you can open a shop, but if people can't get to your shop, it's not going to work. And it's amazing. I've had so many orders in the last while, and so I'm so thankful, because you know what, in the end, everything worked out. But it's just a mission. So I've decided, when I get back after 2.5 weeks of gallivanting all over America, I'm going to reassess where I want to go with the shop. So I've been doing a certain style which I love, and doing certain things, but I think I want to go in another direction. I just don't know which direction yet, because there's like, okay, so there's the stuff that people love, and there's the stuff that I love, and some people buy what I love, and it's awesome, and some people don't like it. And it's like, the people who buy what I love really love it, and they're willing to pay the prices, but then I make the general stuff, and people aren't really willing to pay the prices for the general stuff. So I have to make sure that I don't over-invest in a piece. So I have to make pieces that goes quickly, that doesn't cost me too much to make, and then that I can still have some markup to actually make some money back. Because, you know, in the end, if you run a business, it's not just about, oh, I sold this for so many rands and now I have that rands in my pocket. Usually by the end of it, after you've paid for your electricity and for your materials, even if materials were given to you, there's still parts of it that you pay for, and if you have to replace that material, it's still going to cost you. So you can't just think, oh, I got this for free so I can sell it for less, because in the end, if you have to make another piece like that, you have to go and buy it. So you have to make enough money to have money to pay for the electricity, to pay for washing and drying and all of those things, and then also to go and buy more of that, because that's quite important. And so just with inflation and everything, it's in the end, it's quite a mission to be viable as a shop or as a business. I mean, all of you out there who know who run a business, if you have to buy wool and knit this up and then sell it, in the end, you can't. It's just not worth it. I was actually speaking to somebody the other day, and I said to you know, these days where I work for a quarter of what minimum wage in my country is, because I love what I make, and I want to make that piece, but I can't charge people the amount of time it takes me. And it's not that I'm slow. I can actually whip up stuff in the afternoon. I mean, that dress that you saw behind me, it's tedious and it takes time, but I can do it in 16 hours, which doesn't sound like it's quick, but it's actually quite quick. So I need to assess all of those things and decide where I'm going in future. And what I've just realized is that as business, I won't call myself a businesswoman because it's part-time, but it is a business for me because it covers part of my costs. Because in the end, life, we all know, life gets expensive, and there's things you have to pay, and the cats and the dogs need their flea stuff. Because if they scratch, you scratch, and it's no fun. It's no fun. I've got 2 flea bites because I was slack on getting their flea stuff. Because to get flea stuff, I have to drive for about 30 minutes. Yeah, about 30 minutes. And I know it doesn't sound a lot, but in my schedule usually it is quite, I can't really validate driving 30 minutes and then take another hour to get the stuff and then take another 30 minutes, or usually it's peak traffic, then you sit stuck on it, because our town have 2 access roads. So on the one, they often have mass action, then are people are toiling and burning tires, so you can't take that unless you know there's nothing going on. And there's potholes, the most horrific potholes, and like I said, my car is small. And then on the other one, they're busy building on the main road, and so you can get stuck in traffic for quite some time. So it's quite interesting. But you know what, that's living here, it's life. Yeah, so to get all of that sometimes is a mission. I see my time is up. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye now because I think I've babbled enough, and I'll speak to you guys when I get back. I just wanted to catch up and do a little video quickly of what I've done this week, and just say thank you for the few of you. No, it's not a few. For everyone who's following me. And for everyone who's supporting me and actually encouraging me. And I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful week, and that you are creative, and that you can do things and finish things, and that you will have all the resources you need. Have a wonderful